Hello and welcome to Granada Reports, live with the latest across the Northwest.
Hello, thanks for joining us tonight. On the programme this evening,
Liverpool city taxpayers are entitled to be fed up. I think they're entitled to be disappointed.
Determined to put things right, we talked to the man tasked with turning around the council accused of multiple failures.
finding his pride again, the war veteran forging a new life after post-traumatic stress.
We think he'd have loved it, a new tribute to the man who was known as Mr. Manchester, the late, great Tony Wilson.
And after wowing viewers in The Crown, tonight Emma Corrin on the stage in Salford and talking to Granada Reports about gender and identity.
My journey's been a long one and has still got a way to go. I hope that sharing it helps people.
Thanks for your company. First this evening, the lead commissioner brought in to oversee Liverpool City Council after a damning report has told us things will be better when the team leaves in 3 years' time.
Yeah, the Calla report revealed that there was a culture of bullying and intimidation inside the council. The government has now sent in a team to sort it out. And Mike Cunningham says staff changes are already happening. We'll be hearing from him after this report from our correspondent, Anne O'Connor.
Liverpool is no stranger to turbulent politics, and a report published earlier this year said dubious council contracts were being awarded, staff intimidated, and paperwork thrown in skits. The Tory government took the rare step of sending in troubleshooters to one of the biggest councils in the country.
It paints a deeply concerning picture of mismanagement, the breakdown of scrutiny and accountability, a dysfunctional culture putting the spending of public funds at risk and undermining the city's economic development.
An investigation had been ordered following the arrest of the city's mayor, Joe Anderson, on bribery, conspiracy and witness intimidation charges. He has always denied any wrongdoing and has never been charged with any offence. After Joe Anderson stood down, Joanne Anderson was elected to replace him, promising to cooperate with government efforts to clean up the council.
Following the report, a team of commissioners was appointed to oversee significant parts of Liverpool City Council's operations, most significantly highways and regeneration development projects. Those commissioners include people who are directors and managers at other UK local authorities. They will report to the government every 6 months and be here till June 2024.
Local authorities up and down the country have endured austerity cuts and then the huge demands of the COVID pandemic. It's thought Liverpool lost significant sums of money in mismanaged property and land sell-offs. Recovery in the next 3 years will be a challenge. Anne O'Connor, ITV News, Liverpool.
So how do you put this right? Well, Mike Cunningham is the lead commissioner who will oversee the council for those next 3 years and help them come up with that improvement plan.
He's a local lad. He grew up in Crosby, supports Everton. Before becoming Chief Constable of Staffordshire, he was an Assistant Chief Constable in Lancashire.
He told us how he felt when he first read about the full extent of the problems in the Calla report.
Well, it's devastating. The Calla report, even before I took on this role, reading the Best Value Inspection report was deeply depressing. It painted a picture that is accurate. It painted a picture that the public are now well aware of mismanagement, of poor practice, of potential criminality. You know, there is a lot of things have been going wrong, and I want to be part of the improvement.
Are you surprised, given the scale of the problems here, that it didn't emerge sooner?
One of the things that we'll be looking at is what was it about the culture in Liverpool City Council that didn't allow those things to surface?
Well, wasn't it just that people were being bullied?
That is certainly something that was found in the Best Value Inspection report. The intimidation, the bullying in parts of this council.
How can you be sure that that's stopped?
That's a really good question. There are indications that things have improved because people are coming forward and telling us that.
But those people are being controlled by, I quote, a secret cabal of enemies. And can you be sure that every one of those people has gone?
So this isn't just about a mass clear out at all. This is about identifying points of influence which have gone wrong and how to deal with that.
What impact do you think all of this has had on investment in this area?
There is evidence that investors have had a problem coming into Liverpool because it has not been seen to be a safe place where they could invest their money. And we want to make sure that as part of the improvement of Liverpool, that people who do want to invest in the future and bring much needed resources to the area choose to do so. This city deserves it.
There's been talk of loads of money just ebbing away from Liverpool in many different ways. So all those people who are paying for this service, what would you say to them?
Well, this is exactly why we're here. That ultimately what the problems of Liverpool City Council have been a betrayal of trust in terms of proper use of public money. And that requires, for public money to be used properly, requires levels of governance, oversight, scrutiny and audit and all the things that people would expect.
But when you talk about restoring the trust of the people who live here, they've paid for services, they've paid for council workers' salaries who've not done a good job. And it will be again those people who end up having to put their hands in their pockets to replace the money that's been lost.
Exactly. So this is the challenge, isn't it? That the people who have been let down deserve to see some response to that. And I hope that through the investigations that are going on and through the work that is going on to improve, that those members of the public see that there is a real determination to put things right.
Will planning decisions that have been made over the last few years, will they be reviewed, all of them?
Yeah, so we are in the process of reviewing planning decisions. And one of the commissioners has got specific responsibility around all of that because we want to make sure that things that have gone wrong in the past are put right.
What would your message be to the people of Liverpool? Are you urging them to be patient while you go through this process?
I don't think I'm entitled to ask people to be patient, frankly. I think that Liverpool city taxpayers are entitled to be fed up. I think they're entitled to be disappointed because very clearly the council in parts of its work has failed the best value test. And my commitment to those people is that I and my fellow commissioners will do our level best to work with the council to make sure that all of those things are in place on their behalf.
As a Scouser, that's obviously very important to you.
Well, I think as a person, as a Scouser, it is very important to me. But there's also something around public service that I've spent over 3 decades in public service. And one of the things that is very important to me is that we, in public service, whether we work in policing, as I did for many years, or whether we work in local authorities or in education, public service is just that. It is at the service of the people who pay for it. And public servants should always be very mindful of that and act accordingly.
Mike Cunningham talking to me earlier, and you can see a specially extended version of that interview on our website. If you're wondering why I didn't ask him about the ongoing traffic jams in Liverpool at the moment, well, I did, and you can find his response to that and other issues at itv.com/Granada.
Some more of the day's news now, and a 3-year-old girl has died after choking at a supermarket. It happened last night at an Asda store in Aintree in Liverpool. The youngster was taken to Alder Hey Children's Hospital but died a short time later. Police say there are no suspicious circumstances and they're supporting the girl's loved ones. Police say a jar of human remains found in Liverpool were a medical specimen believed to be from an old school. Builders discovered the jar and its contents at a house in Toxteth on Monday, prompting a search by sniffer dogs. It's now been confirmed the find isn't sinister and no further action will be taken.
Almost 400 police officers have been involved in Cheshire's largest ever operation against suspected organised drugs gangs operating across different counties. They've made 25 arrests. Coordinated dawn raids were carried out in Warrington, Merseyside, Greater Manchester and Birmingham. They seized drugs, money and vehicles.
Detectives have arrested a man on suspicion of theft and money laundering after a significant number of high-tech goods vanished from an Amazon warehouse in Salford. Officers searching a property found phones and smartwatches as well as £250,000 in cash. The man, in his 30s, has been released on bail pending further inquiries.
And Salford is one of the most affordable cities in the country to get on the property ladder. In the pandemic, many people have been moving out of cities, which means house prices in some areas have fallen. Liverpool and Lancaster also make the top 20 places where mortgages are now more affordable.
Now, this week on the programme, we're exploring the challenges of living with a hidden disability. Exactly how many of us are affected is far from clear, though in America, it's been suggested the figure could be 1 in 10 people.
It can be anything from a mental health issue to chronic pain. And tonight, we're hearing the story of a former serviceman from Lancashire.
Hi, my name's Kevin Gray. I'm a veteran of the Gulf War of 1991 and of Northern Ireland. And just after those tours, I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, and I was eventually medically discharged from the armed forces with that diagnosis. I'd spent my whole life as a child, wanting nothing more than to be in the armed forces and to have that taken away from me. It was really, really hard to take. And when I was discharged, and nobody had heard of post-traumatic stress disorder, and there wasn't much of an understanding of it, so there was very, very little support. I just tried to plod on with life, feeling a failure, a shame that I wasn't good enough to be a soldier anymore. And for many years, that put me in a really dark place. I reached out to Help for Heroes. While I was there on a day visit, they took me to the wood shop where they were making a small rocking horse, and I said, if you ever make a full-size one, I'd be interested. And it sort of like went on from there then, and I started to realise I could still create things, something tactile, something beautiful, and I was proud of what I'd created. That pride that I'd been missing all those years, that I used to have when I wore my uniform, it sort of like came back when people were admiring what I was doing. When you're carving them and you're running your hand in with the sand and you're getting to feel all that, and you feel you've put a part of you into it. So then to think that's going to be there long after I'm gone. If I'm making somebody smile when I give them a rocking horse, that makes me smile inside. Often people can look at me and go, what's wrong with this guy? I'm a big guy, and if I can stick my hand up and say I'm struggling, then hopefully it'll encourage others to do the same. It's liberating to be able to talk about it openly. Years ago, I would never talk about it. I would just say, I'm just finished in the army now, and that was it, and just sort of like hide my head in shame, if you will. It's not just unique to veterans. Anybody can suffer with post-traumatic stress disorder if they've been, involved in some traumatic incident. I still think a lot more needs to be done. We can't go around wearing a tag saying, if I'm looking like I've got a face of thunder, it's because I'm struggling a little bit today, because I'm a veteran with PTSD. We can't do that, So how would we bring about more awareness? I think it's just a case of just talking about it more. I think if anybody's feeling as low as I have been in the past, then you stick your hand up and say, I'm struggling here. There is always somebody out there, but if you don't stick your hand up, nobody's going to know you're struggling. For those around, keep your eye on your family. If you see the mood seriously drop down, encourage them to come forward and say, I'm struggling here. And I think that's probably about the best message I could give to anybody. Stick your hand up and say, it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah, very wise words from Kevin. Thank you very much to him.
What a talented and lovely bloke. It's so important that people like Kevin can speak out and share their experiences with all of us.
Yeah, he spoke so well. Our thanks to him for sharing that story with us tonight. And still to come on the programme,
some showbiz royalty, the crown to Salford's Lowry Theatre.
And when Sammy Seagull gets out of the way, there he goes. You can see it's been a rather cloudy day in Morecambe today with 1 or 2 outbreaks of rain. It'll be better for all of us tomorrow. But what about the weekend? Join me soon for the latest forecast.
I think those seagulls are getting fatter and fatter. Thanks for that, John. And here's what's still coming up on the ITV News at 6:30 with Lucrezia.
Coming up, a British man's been arrested in Germany accused of spying for Russia. He works at the British Embassy in Berlin and is suspected of selling top-secret documents. We'll have the latest. Also ahead, the terrible waste of perfectly good food, why thousands of tonnes are thrown away instead of donated. Plus, a passionate Parisian welcome for the world's best-paid footballer. Join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
He should have come to the northwest, old Messi.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to share any pictures of very big seagulls that you happen to spot on your holidays this year, please do share them with us at Granada.
Lucy's a big fan of seagulls.
Not the really big ones, just don't get too close. Now, time is running short if you want to nominate someone to represent our region at the Daily Mirror Pride of Britain Awards.
It is the glitzy awards night where the stars of the show are ordinary people who've done extraordinary things, and it's where this year's National Fundraiser of the Year will be revealed.
So, if you know someone who should be named our regional fundraiser and be in with a chance of getting that national title, why don't you let us know? Winners must be 16 or over, and entries for individuals only will be considered.
You can head to itv.com/Pride of Britain and follow the links. The closing date for nomination is Friday the 13th, lucky for some, of August, and full terms and conditions can be found at itv.com/Pride of Britain. Next this evening, to another triumphant homecoming for one of our Olympic heroes.
Yeah, we're just loving these stories, all these new heroes for the North West to celebrate. Tonight it is Chorley's Holly Bradshaw, our pole vault champion, who wants to set the bar high as a role model.
Yeah, after her triumph in Tokyo, she's been back to her local cafe to show off her bronze medal and collect a new one.
Yeah, quite rightly. Our sports correspondent Chris Hall has more.
She's brought plenty of medals home in her career, but this one takes the biscuit. Holly Bradshaw's first post-Tokyo coffee run has been a real eye-opener for this humble Olympian.
I think the biggest surprise is how genuinely happy everyone is. For me, like, people stop me and are genuinely so happy for me. I think they've followed my journey and the highs and lows, and I was really taken aback with how many people actually cared. You know, for the past 9 years, I've had frequent dreams of breaking my PB, standing on the podium, what that would feel like, and to actually get up there and do it, it was kind of surreal, and I just soaked it in as much as I can and just absolutely loved it. It was great.
Just as rewarding for Holly as the effect her success will have on the next generation of Olympic hopefuls, starting with the starry-eyed customers here.
I thought it was quite amazing that they can get that high over a bar. I would like to go to the Olympics and do gymnastics one day there.
Since claiming her bronze, Holly has opened up about her body image issues caused by years of online abuse. She hopes to inspire youngsters everywhere to rise above it.
There's a lot of pressure on youngsters to look a certain way and do certain things, and hopefully I'm just a role model that doesn't matter what you look like, doesn't matter what you wear, you can still do sport, you can still do great things. So yeah, I really hope that is my legacy and a role model for that, because I think social media can be so detrimental, and people just need to know that it doesn't matter what you look like, you can still do great things.
Even before the Olympics, Holly was in the form of her life, setting a new British record of 4.90 metres at the National Championships in Manchester. So, deciding whether to go for a fourth Olympics was even easier than choosing where to display her medal.
I'm going to keep it in my lounge, so especially for like the next couple of years for motivation for the Worlds and maybe even Paris, I want to be able to see it and really spur me on. But it is so hard to win an Olympic medal in athletics. I can't say, oh, I want to win gold, I want to win silver now. I just want to go to over the next 3 years, go to every major championship. I feel like I can jump higher, and I want to become more consistent in the top 5. So I think anything's possible, but definitely Paris 2024 is on the cards.
Until then, this medal will take pride of place at home. This one, though, may disappear a bit sooner.
Yeah, I bet it will. Well done. What a great talent and what a great message. Thanks, Holly. Now, there are so many reasons that so many of us remembered Tony Wilson so fondly, not just for being a great Granada presenter and friend.
He was the boss at Factory Records, the man behind the Hacienda nightclub, and the man largely credited for kick-starting a regeneration of Manchester through music.
Yeah, he was also the man credited with saying, this is Manchester, we do things differently here. And my favourite, some people make money, some people make history. Well, today saw a new tribute to him, as Tim Scott reports from Withington.
14 years after his death and a stone's throw from the house where he started Factory Records, Tony Wilson is celebrated in this striking mural in Withington. The mysterious street artist, or is it artists behind it, are known as the Postman. They've travelled from Brighton to put the mural up. And of course, they're huge fans of the man known as Mr. Manchester.
A personal hero to us, a hero to anyone in this community. The things he achieved from what he had and how he started out is quite remarkable. He also was fairly uncommercial, led by his heart.
Withington Walls are the community group who commissioned the mural. As well as the now famous Marcus Rashford artwork, they've also installed this painting of Tony Wilson's colleague and artist, Peter Saville.
We've had amazing artists contribute, and give their time to us, do really beautiful pieces of work. But they all comment on, how warmly it's been received by the local people of Withington. People are wanting to stop and talk to them about the work, or say thank you, or say, did you do that one, did you do that one?
So the mural is actually 3 photographs printed onto billboard paper, then pasted onto the wall. When it's dried, it'll be weatherproof with varnish, and then hopefully down the years it'll be seen by thousands of people as they pass by on this busy junction in Withington. The mural is sited on the wall of the men's room barbers. Barber Michael, a Hacienda veteran, was only too happy for the artist to use his space.
We knew Tony was going up there, but we didn't know in what guise. So we've seen the black and white photograph that they were going to be basing it on, but we had no idea it was going to be that big, really. But yeah, we made up with it.
It's quite interesting and ironic with it being on a barber's wall, because if anything that Tony never cared about was in the true Boris Johnson mode was his hair.
14 years since his death, and it seems Manchester still can't get enough of Tony Wilson. His legacy lives on in the music, in the modern city he helped create, and now this stunning mural in Withington. Tim Scott, ITV News.
Yeah, I love that.
Great stuff.
I
Wonderful
think he would
to
have
see.
liked that.
Yeah. Still a very cool guy. Very cool guy. Now, at last, we can start enjoying live drama again. And the good news is that the West End play Anna X is coming to Salford, the only venue outside London. It stars Emma Corrin, who shot to fame as Princess Diana in The Crown, the critically acclaimed Netflix drama, some of which was filmed in Manchester.
Yeah, this is the story of a Russian woman who sets out to con a rich American entrepreneur in Manhattan. It also stars Naban Rizwan and opens tonight at the Lowry Theatre. They've been talking to Victoria Grimes.
You see car lights reflected in skyscrapers, and you feel like this. All of this is for you.
Well, it's lovely to have you here in sort of slightly sunny Salford, but it's not raining, so we thought we'd...
Naban dressed for the sun.
Yeah,
I did not.
So first time on the West End for both of you. You're taking Anna X away from the West End, and the only place that you're bringing it to is right here.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Exclusive.
Exclusively to Salford, yeah.
We're so stoked and
Yeah.
equally terrified, I think.
Don't be terrified, everyone's lovely round here. But
They
we'll
are.
clap, we'll have a standing ovation.
Oh,
tonight.
God.
I know, we're used to London hostility, so...
Yeah.
You won't get that here.
La Principessa Anna, New York Savior.
And in the mirrored elevator going up, he takes selfie after selfie.
You're playing a fraudster, a con woman. This sounds like the best role
It
ever.
is
Is it
so
really
much
exciting?
fun. It is. And also, it's just like a whirlwind of a play. We're on stage for, the whole time, an hour and a half, and...
It's short and intense, and for the audience, it's meant to feel as if it's like you said, like a roller coaster.
Yeah, you buckle in and you just say it doesn't stop.
A Golden Globe for The Crown. Did you expect it to have the impact that it's had?
Definitely not. I don't think you ever do. Also, it's so weird how these things are timed, because like, I filmed it so long before it came out, and also with COVID, and like I was doing the Globes from like my friend's room at like 2 a.m. in the morning. And I got so tired because I'm really bad at staying up late, so I think I went to bed at like 11 p.m. in my dress, and then she woke me up at like 1 a.m. to accept. It was just, yeah,
I love
crazy.
that. So you're obviously dead excited about the whole thing. So let's go and have a little
Yeah.
little snooze.
We filmed all the New York bits in the Crown in Manchester. So the crafts shops near the Northern Quarter.
Yeah.
And I went the year before I got the part to visit my friend who lives here, and we were in the craft shop, and I was reading Diana's biography because it's when I was auditioning for the part. And then we were filming right outside that same craft shop when we were filming The Crown. And I've got a picture of me in the costume with the book and me a year earlier with the book in the same place.
Emma, you've been talking quite a lot sort of over the last month or so on social media about gender identity and gender fluidity, and these are obviously things that are very, very important to you. Why do you think it's so important that we keep this conversation going?
Because I think visibility is key with these things. I mean, I've felt it because I think my journey's been a long one and has still got a way to go. I think that, you know, we're so used to defining ourselves, and that's the way sadly society works, is within these binaries, and it's taken me a long time to realise that I exist somewhere in between, and I'm still not sure where that is yet. But yeah, when I started posting about it, obviously it felt very sort of scary and revealing, and I wasn't sure whether it was a right thing to do. But the feedback I got from other people in the queer community has been wonderful. To know it's like great, and it's something to be celebrated. I'm still figuring it all out, and like I think everyone is, and that's kind of the point, is that there's no fixed identity, especially for like people in the queer community. So it's going to be an ongoing journey, but yeah, I hope that sharing it helps people. I walked from the station to where we're staying through Canal Street, and it's an amazing feeling of solidarity when, it's a beautiful feeling to be amongst that kind of thing.
It's not Pride for another couple of weeks, but we definitely need to get you back, both of you, because it's such a big party.
I know.
I'm hearing all about it,
it's
so
the best,
it sounds great.
You give him the concept. He fills in the rest.
Another great talent on the show tonight. Well, the weather now. Here's John with the forecast.
That sunshine really made your eyeshadow pop, you know? And you put the wipe in the bin, not the toilet.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Go ahead, Queen.
Yes, hello again. Well, Eric didn't bring us much sunshine today, did he? A lot of high cloud there at Morecambe, cloudy skies here at Peel Tower, just outside Ramsbottom. But it stayed dry long enough for a walk across the fields here at Bunbury in Cheshire between Crewe and Chester. So let's take a look at the satellite and radar. You can see this frontal system, this band of thicker cloud edging in all the way through today, bringing some outbreaks of rain. But behind that, clearer skies will move in tonight and tomorrow. So still one or two showery outbreaks of rain in the next hour or so, but pushing away eastwards. There may be an odd shower around South Lakeland there through the night, but a generally dry night. One or two low cloud patches, a little bit of mistiness developing as temperatures fall away to a minimum of around 10 Celsius down Cheshire Way. There are your sun times for tomorrow. It's up in the morning at 5:43 and it's setting again at 8:47. So a little bit of patchy mist and low cloud initially in the morning. That'll soon lift. Then we'll see some nice sunny spells into the afternoon, partly cloudy skies. But I am expecting a dry day tomorrow, but it will be breezy. Southwesterly winds will gust 40 miles per hour at times, especially at the coast. And the top temperature not bad at around 21 Celsius. Small chance of a shower through the Isle of Man tomorrow evening, but as we head into Friday, a good deal of dry weather. A southwesterly wind again might just bring a shower or two, but a good deal of dry weather and some sunshine and a top temperature of around 20 Celsius. Not quite so breezy as tomorrow. Into the weekend, Friday and Saturday not bad. Expect some rain on Sunday. Enjoy your evening.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Those eyebrows are unreal.
Tomorrow we'll be reporting on GCSE results day. Dun dun dun! So much attention on them because, of course, the pandemic.
Yeah, good luck with those. Also, we're running away to the circus to meet the ringmaster in his 70s who is celebrating 30 years in the circus Big Top.
Roll up for that. For now, many thanks indeed for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Have a good night. Bye.